Hello and welcome to another opportunity to attract the man of your dreams. Today I want to show you how you know if a guy likes you. Yep, that brings me to today's topic, and that's how to know a guy likes you. How do you know if he wants to date you? How do you know if he's interested in you? Well, the very first sign, which is a very important sign, that 99% of my Skype coaching clients completely ignore. And that's that he actually asks you out. I mean, so many of my coaching clients went on a first date with a guy who asked them out, who did everything in his power to get them on the date. And then in the Skype coaching session, they asked me, Sebastian, how do I actually know if he likes me? Well, he asked you on a date. He didn't ask your friend Lauren, he didn't ask your friend Brittany, and he didn't ask your co-worker Stephanie, who you don't like. And in case your name is Stephanie right now, then I want to apologize. That was just an example. If a man asks you out, this is already a great sign that he's at least interested in you, or let's say interested in finding out who you are and if you are compatible. So please don't ignore the fact that he asked you out, and don't ignore the fact that he actually wants to get to know you. Just because a man asks you out, of course, it doesn't mean that he already sees you as his girlfriend, but he's at least interested in you to such an extent that he wants to invest his time to get to know you, and that's already a great sign. And if he then tries to touch you early on during the date, that's even better. I mean, it's only better if you really like him, otherwise it gets creepy and you don't want it to happen. But if you really like him, if you're attracted to him, and if you at some point want to be intimate with him, then I'm pretty sure you are excited about the idea of touching him and also getting touched by him. And if, for example, at the beginning of the date, he places his hand on your back, or if he places his hand on your arm or on your leg, these are all signs that this man is interested in you and that this man wants to get closer to you. However, you have to be careful. Just because a man tries to touch you doesn't mean that this man wants to get to know you for a relationship. This might also mean that he just wants to touch you because, well, he wants to have a one-night stand, he wants to have a friends with benefits relationship, and if you are looking for a serious long-term relationship, then it's also up to you to find out if this man is actually interested in more, if he's compatible with you, and if you can imagine a relationship with him. And if you can imagine a relationship with him, then you have the power to make him devoted to you. And if you want to find out how you can use the devotion sequence to make him devoted to you, then you can find out more about the devotion system by clicking on the first link in the description or by going to gethimkeephim.com/devoted. And yes, I want to be 100% honest with you. If you go to gethimkeephim.com/devoted or you click on the first link in the description and you then watch this explainer video, you have the opportunity to invest in the devotion system. And if you invest in this program, I receive a commission for that. But I only recommend it to you because I truly believe that this is the best program that has ever been created for every woman who wants to know how to make a high-quality man devoted to her. And speaking of devotion, if he acts like a child right before a temper tantrum when you're talking to another guy, then he might already be in the process of falling for you, and he might already be in the process of at least getting a little bit devoted to you. And in this case, you have to observe how he reacts. I mean, if you're, for example, talking to another guy, maybe it's just a male friend or a coworker when you're out with him, because you just bump into him, you meet him randomly by chance, and you then observe how the man that you're on a date with reacts in this situation. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This can already tell you a lot about how he feels about you. If he just doesn't care that you're talking to this handsome gentleman, then he might not be that into you. If, however, he tries to control his feelings, and you can see that he gets a little bit irritated, that he's a little bit jealous, this means he likes you. But of course, you should be careful if you're on a date with a guy who then actually throws a temper tantrum and who gets aggressive when you're talking to another guy. That's a huge red flag. And what if he asks you about your favorite restaurant or your favorite movie? This means that he wants to take you to this restaurant. He wants you to provide him with the next date idea. And when it comes to movies, he wants to make sure that he prepares the right movies for you two to watch once you are at your place or at his place. This means that this man likes you. He wants to know what kind of things you like, what kind of food you like, so that he can plan the perfect date for you. And another great sign that a man likes you, that he's really into you, also when it comes to seeing you as his girlfriend and maybe even later on as his wife, is when he's so devoted to you that he won't even look at other women when he's out with you. Let's say, for example, you're on a date and this really gorgeous woman walks past you. She has a body where every man turns his head, but the guy that you are on a date with, he only looks at you. He looks at your body, he looks into your eyes, and he wants to get to know you. Even though this drop-dead gorgeous woman is walking right past him. He doesn't care, he only has eyes for you. This means that he not only likes you, but that he's already devoted to you. And this is something that you can experience after you've invested in the devotion system. And when it comes to him getting closer and closer and closer during a conversation, and when he leans in when he's talking to you, this also means that he likes you. It means that he wants to be closer to you. He wants you and him to connect on a deep emotional level and also on a physical level at the same time. So for example, when you're having a conversation with a guy and he then leans in and he pretends to not hear you clearly, even though you speak with a loud voice, it means that he tries to very sneakily get closer to you. And if he looks at you with big eyes and anticipation before he gives you a compliment, and then after he gives you the compliment, he acts a little bit nervous because he wants to see your reaction, this means that this guy likes you. And another sign that a guy likes you is when he wants to be alone with you, because he wants to establish a connection. He wants to get to know you one-on-one in an intimate way. And by intimate, I don't mean being intimate in the bedroom. That comes later if both of you want it. But for now, he just wants to create this intimate atmosphere of being alone with you and of then having the chance to get to know you on a deep emotional level. And he can't do that if you're talking in a group with 3 other guys or 3 other women or a mixed group or whatever, like if you are surrounded by other people. When you are surrounded by other people, it's not the right environment to get to know you on a deep emotional level. And that's why when he wants to isolate you from a group, especially if you're, for example, at a private party, it means that he likes you, he wants to spend alone time with you. And he always texts you first and he sends you a lot of emojis when he's texting you. And speaking of texting, did you know that you can use your smartphone to make a man fall in love with you? There are certain text messages that are psychologically proven to make men fall for you because they trigger the desire to protect you and to take care of you. And if you want to find out more about this psychological principle, you can click on the second link in the description or go to gethimkeephim.com/text. And the last sign that I want to share with you for today, the last sign that shows you very, very clearly that this guy likes you, is when he follows up immediately after the date or at least 1 day later. If you've been on a date with him and he then texts you in the evening if you got home safe, or he texts you in the evening that he really enjoyed the date with you, or he texts you the next day and he asks you directly for the next date, or he simply asks you if you got home safe and what you're doing, he tries to re-establish the conversation after your first date. This means that this guy likes you and he wants a second date with you. And if you're not only ready to get a second date with him, but you also want to make him devoted to you on this date, then, like I said before, you can go to gethimkeephim.com/devoted or click on the first link in the description. And a very quick announcement, no matter in which program you invest in, if you use any of the links in the description, if you send a screenshot of your order receipt to sebastian@gethimkeephim.com, I will give you an exclusive discount code that gives you 50 euros off for your very first Skype coaching session with me. So in other words, if you invest in any of the programs with one of the links that I put in the description, you receive a coupon code for your very first Skype coaching session with me that's worth more than the actual investment that you have to make if you decide to invest in any of these programs. And if you enjoyed watching this video, if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. and leave a comment in the comment section below. Share your opinion, share your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. And I would love it even more if you would hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video.